Hey Wellness Warrior, the duration of fast and how often you fast will be the determining factor as to whether or not you see success. Both personally and clinically, I've used 16-8 intermittent fasting and even 7-day water fasting. And I'm here to tell you that each one has their own unique benefits. So let's break down all the popular fasting methods and talk about how to use each one of them. So let's kick it off with 16-8 intermittent fasting. Now, 16-8 is where you're going to fast for 16 hours and eat all your meals within an 8-hour period. This is going to be the most popular form of fasting, and it's for a good reason. It's easy to implement and it fits into almost any lifestyle. So whether you're just starting off intermittent fasting or you've been doing it for years, it's still a good method. I use 16-8 regularly. This fasting method is really good at nudging weight loss and insulin resistance and just overall general well-being into a really positive direction. The huge benefit comes from the change in metabolic function. Instead of burning sugar for energy, your body turns to burning fat, stored fat for energy, which is really powerful and very therapeutic. When somebody starts intermittent fasting, they'll almost immediately notice that their gut health improves, they'll notice less bloating, they'll feel that their digestion really takes a turn for the better. Now, go ahead and smash that thumbs up button if you love 16-8 intermittent fasting. And a quick cool story I'll share with you is I recently had a patient come in and he looked like he had lost weight, so I asked him, "Did you lose some weight?" He goes, "No, haven't lost any, but I started intermittent fasting." And it was really interesting because just that change alone, he didn't change his diet, he didn't change anything. Just that simple change alone, he looked less bloated, he looked less swollen, and it did appear that he had lost weight. So even though he didn't move the scale yet, he made very positive, noticeable change. When you begin 16-8, you see these massive changes, but then after doing it for several weeks, what happens? Well, you tend to plateau a little bit. It's best to take a day off of fasting every single week so you don't become metabolically patterned and get to the point where fasting just doesn't seem to be as effective. I oftentimes compare it to exercise. If you're someone who does the exact same exercise every single day, eventually you plateau and you don't get any results with your workout. Well, fasting can be the same way. So I'll teach you in just a moment how to never plateau with your fasting. The second most popular method of intermittent fasting is going to be 1 meal a day. This is where you eat all your meals within a 2-hour period and you're fasting for 22 hours. You're going to get all the same amazing benefits of 16-8. However, you're going to get them faster. When you pick up the intensity of intermittent fasting, you also speed up the results. 1 meal a day can be practiced every single day, but I will tell you that my favorite way to practice 1 meal a day is to combine it with 16-8 intermittent fasting. So to give you an example, what I would do is something along the lines of 3 days of 16-8 throughout the week, 3 days of 1 meal a day, and then I would take a day off. Now you might be thinking to yourself, Dr. Zebrowski, can I just stick to one fasting method in order to keep it nice and easy for myself? Well, the answer is yes, you can. But the reason that we like to combine them is because we refer to this clinically as metabolic confusion. What we try to do is we try to keep you getting the exact same amazing results that you got when you first started intermittent fasting. And one of the ways we do this is by constantly confusing that metabolism and not patterning it in any specific way so that it's always guessing as to what the next step will be. Imagine if you go to the gym and you're constantly doing a new workout. You're really pushing your body to adapt. However, if you're doing the same workout every day, you're no longer adapting. And a quick story I want to share with you to show how effective this can really be. I've been working with an individual in NutriCore for about 2 years, and NutriCore is my health consulting program. And during this time, he was doing 16-8 intermittent fasting. He chose that as his method to use because he just felt it fit well into his lifestyle and he liked it. But there was a problem. Last time I talked to him, he was really unhappy because he just wasn't seeing results, and he felt that intermittent fasting didn't work anymore. He wanted to quit doing it, quite frankly. What I recommended to him is that we change it up and we try to get him out of that metabolic pattern. So we started implementing the exact same method I shared with you. And in just 2 weeks' time, what we found is that he had more positive change from intermittent fasting than he had had the previous year of doing it. Now, as we go through all of these fasting methods, the one thing that absolutely determines which style of fasting you should be using is going to be your why. So do this. Put in the comments below your why. What reasons are you intermittent fasting? And let's see if we can help you get to the right method that's perfect for you. Now, the next fasting method that I've really grown to love over the past year is going to be the 48-hour water fast. Why do I love this so much? Well, it's because it's so doable and you just don't hit that same level of fatigue that you hit when you're doing a 3 to 7 day water fast. So you can go on throughout your work week and it's not very interruptive. Now, the 48-hour water fast is incredible for anybody who's really trying to push some extra fat loss and also try to become more insulin sensitive. And if you're really trying to break through like a weight loss plateau, the 48-hour water fast is powerful. But the question becomes, well, how often should you do it? So if you're somebody trying to lose that fat and you're trying to become more insulin sensitive and you got a lot of weight to lose, you could implement a 48-hour water fast on a weekly basis. Now, if you're closer to your ideal weight, more like I am, you're going to want to do it maybe every other week, where it's going to be just more of an ideal time frame to implement this. And so that's what I've been doing for the past several months. It's just a 48-hour water fast every other week, and it's working incredible for me. Now, every one of the fasting methods I've mentioned so far, 16 and 8, 1 meal a day, and 48-hour water fast, can be done on a regular basis and offer great benefits to your general well-being. But I will tell you this, and this is important, is that they just don't offer you those huge breakthroughs in that therapeutic benefit that a 3 to 7 day water fast will. Well, what do I mean by this? If you're somebody who's dealing with leaky gut, if you have an autoimmune condition, let's say you have skin rashes all over your body, let's say you're trying to really overcome a serious condition, it's very common that you'll see minimal change while doing some of these short duration fasts. The real magic happens when you hit that 3 to 7 day water fast mark. The reason for this is that when you hit that 3-day mark, you have a huge influx in stem cells and you kickstart your body's regenerative ability to start that healing process. What science shows within a 3-day water fast, you start to rebuild your immune system and regenerate it, because as you force your body into that short duration starvation mode, it tries to save energy. And as it goes to save energy, it starts to recycle your immune cells, not only recycling the damaged ones, but also just using up the ones that aren't needed at that time. You also go really deep into autophagy, which has tremendous benefits to clearing out cancerous cells within the body. And this is why the most therapeutically significant fast that you can do for overcoming a health condition is going to be a 3-day or longer water fast. So the next $1 million question is, well, how long should I do that water fast? Should I do a 3-day or should I do a 7-day? The biggest thing that we have to look at is where you're coming from. So if you've already successfully completed 48-hour water fast, then a 3-day would be really easy for you to step into. Now, if you've never done any of that before, you've never done 16 and 8, none of it, I would recommend that you slowly use these as stepping stones to get to that point. So a 3-day water fast is a great water fast because you can still maintain a pretty normal work week and not hit a fatigue level that's too high. You may need to rest a little bit more. That's completely fine. Once you step into the 4-day, it really has that fatigue factor set in, and a lot of times you just can't make it throughout your day without taking adequate time to rest. The 7-day water fast is obviously on more of the extreme end. It's very difficult to do a 7-day water fast without it interrupting your weekly schedule, especially if you're somebody who has a physically active job. It's pretty much impossible. You just have to have the time to rest, take naps, and relax a little bit. So when we look at these fasting methods, I will tell you that there's never been anything that I've ever tried to accomplish with somebody's health or my own personal health that I couldn't accomplish in a 4-day water fast. And what I would do if I couldn't accomplish it within those 4 days, let's say I did this 4-day water fast and I just didn't reach that goal that I was trying to accomplish with my autoimmune disorder, what I would do is I would turn around and I would repeat that 4-day fast within 3 weeks to 1 month's time, all while doing 16 and 8 intermittent fasting, 1 meal a day in between. And I would continue to repeat that 4-day water fast every 3 weeks to 1 month until I had the desired outcome that I was looking for. But remember this, the absolute most important way to determine how long and how often you should be fasting all comes down to your why. So put your why in the comments below and we'll see if we can help you determine which fasting method is best for you. I'm Dr. Nick Zarowski and it's been a pleasure hanging out with you. Thanks for watching. And to learn more about all the different questions you have about intermittent fasting, watch this playlist right here.